Can I tell you what's on my mind? 'Cause I've been thinking about it for quite some time. Hey, can you give me a moment to declare my love? Can I tell you what's on my mind? Can I get a chance to let you know you're my heart's desire, and I love you so? Will you stay right here, or will you run away if I tell you what's on my mind? I know we're more
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana, but on here I go by the Modern Sim, and today we are back with another episode of Melomania. Now this is going to be a very chill episode, but with a few surprises along the way. And with that being said, I don't want this intro to be any longer than it needs to be, so without further ado, let's get into it. So we are starting things off bright and early this Monday morning with Lauryn at the Av Band House. Now currently it is 6:17 a.m. and she has classes at 8. So she has about 2 hours to kind of like get herself ready out of the door. But I did want to quickly give you guys a little overview of this house in which all the members of the band stay, and currently Lauren spends a lot of her time. So I did get this build off of the gallery originally. Excuse like the weird clipping issues or whatever the case is. Most of this will never be seen to most people unless you're looking too hard. So I'm not going to fix that. That's literally a bookcase, and that is a carpet. Basketball hoop on the outside, a little parking lot. And then this is a like townhouse situation, but I did alter this lot quite a bit from the original one, but I will see if I can find the original build and link it down in the description box below. But come in, there is a nice little entryway type of situation where the band like kind of like dumps, you know, their shoes and like random stuff that they put over here, and Foxberry memorabilia. Is that the word I'm looking for? I guess it is. Coming inside, we have their living room. Like, the lore in my mind is that this was decorated mostly by Frankie because other guys just don't have like creativity, I guess, the care to decorate their house. You can see like little influences of themselves, but I like pops of color to kind of showcase some of each of their styles, right? And Frankie's a very colorful dressing individual, so this makes sense. But over here we have their kitchen, complete with, tons and tons of like clutter and things, books, MacBook, this random case of water that's been sitting here for a long time, like specific items that we won't talk too much about, but the band does partake in a few activities, right? And this is what the rest of the apartment is looking like on this side, on the first floor. And then coming outside, we do have like a back patio deck, which I will eventually decorate. You can see like the guys making this like a cool spot, whatever the case is. Coming up these stairs, we have like another door that leads out to like a balcony situation. Shoes, clutter, stuff the guys just kind of like throw around. And then over here we have two doors. So this room over here is Matt's, and this over here is the bathroom. So as you can see, this is Matt's room. It's actually one of my favorite. Like, I feel like I really did a good job on this band's house, like giving them their own unique personalities, you know what I'm saying, and how they decide to go about like decorating their spaces and whatnot. It's very cluttered and stuff because these are guys that are organized but not the most, right? Then we have the memorabilia, random stuff that's on his shelves and stuff. Matt is very much a movie person. He just loves this type of stuff. So of course his room is decorated with this. This is also a little gift that, Miss Lauryn gave Matt. I'm just gonna say it's like a love day gift or something. I don't know. And then in here we actually have like a little baby like half bath, which I felt like was a little beneficial considering the fact that there's technically only one bathroom in this place, but I feel like we needed a half bath, right? But going out and into this room, the bathroom, what? But this is their bathroom that they all share. It's not the nastiest bathroom, but it's not the cleanest. And then on the third floor, we have the last two bedrooms. So straight ahead, we have Isaac's bedroom. And this is what his bedroom looks like. And I feel like it's really cool. Like, Isaac is the one out of the whole group that has like money and why they're able to afford the place that they live currently, because these are college students. So you should not have this cool of a townhouse, right? But I would say like family has a little bit of money, fund majority of the living expenses, right? But this is his room, and then this is the other side of his room. He has this desk, bookshelf that, as you know, is sticking out the side of the wall, but no one cares, right? And he has like his other stuff that he's into, music, of course, sport. Of course, he has the biggest room because he pays the most amount in rent, so he has the biggest room. And then lastly, we go into Frankie's room, which the door is open because he just exit out. I would say his and Matt's room are like about the same size. Coming in, we have the door, we have a little seating area. We also have like this section where like Matt produces the music. He is like the brains, like he plays, music instruments, whatever, but he is kind of like the brains behind the app. Like, they all write songs and contribute and stuff like that, but he the MVP of the group, if we're gonna be for real. Like, Isaac, he shows up, gives his great voice, but the songs that are being sung are written by Frankie. He has like the most instruments in his room. If I were to say like Frankie, who he is, he's like a musical genius in a sense. Like of course, like, he still had things to learn, but like he's like, music is his life. He mean that, okay? Like, the other guys, like, music is really important to them. Music is Frankie's life, okay? And so this makes sense why his room is like extra packed with instrumentation, right? Not they all in here doing homework and sitting down. Okay, Lauryn, quick agenda for today. Lauryn has a class at 8 a.m. So we're gonna go ahead and have her get ready for that, which I don't think she has to really do too much. Actually, let's use this bathroom so no one interrupts her, so I can just see that being a problem right here, right now. Now, should I probably address the elephant in the room? The fact that I've been gone from the series for like 6 months? But it's okay because we're back. Like, I can give you a whole bunch of excuses of why I haven't posted this series and stuff like that, but it just be a whole bunch of excuses. We're here now. That's all that matters, okay? The quick brief recap of the last episode. So of course we had our week in love, in which we spent with various of our Melomania Sims, including Matt and Lauryn, who made it official. We had Miles Sr. and Nelly showing us how they've been able to like stay together for so long, and also addressing, Miles Sr.'s desire for change. Then we had Miss Brandy and Andre celebrating Eric's birthday and essentially getting the vibe that Andre is kind of longing for what he had with Brandy and what he possibly could have with Brandy. And going for it, girly, you're not about to grow. you're not about to grow. Then following it up with Kimberly and Dorian, in which we find out that Kimberly's dating a married man who doesn't know that she knows he is a married man, and the wife kind of gets the vibe or kind of knows that her husband's been cheating on her and all that whole mess, which we'll dive into in a future episode. Don't you worry. And then lastly, we had Miles being a hot mess, and in between several women, there's Iris, her whole situation with the baby. We had things with Nyla, Miles essentially not being over her, and their weird dynamic that they currently have going on. And then of course Ashley and him being physically attracted to her, and sharing that very crazy tension filled kiss in the last episode, which we will circle back to when we get to Miles' section. But bringing this all back to Lauryn and where we are currently in the timeline of things. So it's been about a month since all of that has happened. Matt and Lauryn have been going strong. Lauryn has decided to work with Frankie for the showcase, and so that is what she and Frankie have been doing over the past month. They've been getting a little closer as friends, getting to know each other, like, and build their own connection, I guess you could say, outside of exclusively being friends through Matt, right? So we'll talk more about that later today. But of course, in a few minutes, she will be attending a class in which afterwards we will catch back up with her at the arts building, might chill a little bit before her session with Frankie. I'm going to go ahead and allow Lauryn to play on his computer until she heads to class, and I will see you guys when she's done. Alright guys, so it has been a couple hours later, and we get back with Lauryn at the arts program building. Currently I have her practicing a little piano, but in just a few minutes I'll have her do some homework and stuff like that while we wait and buy time for Frankie to finish up with his classes and meet us here. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe his class ends at 12:25. So we have a good 2 hours to do nothing. I don't say do nothing. While not she getting tipped, while we wait, I do want to quickly address a couple of things of what's been happening. Catch you guys up with the whole showcase situation. So shortly after the last episode, Lauryn decided to work with Frankie during her first showcase. And because Frankie's nice and agreeable, and he's Lauryn's cool or whatever, I don't mind working with her or whatnot for the showcase, And so they decided to work. So that's what they've been doing for the past month. They decided to write their own original song in which Lauryn and him will perform, and they'll do a little bit of a practice session with it later today, and probably get some tips or something from Mr. Lin to kind of see if there's anything they should add, missing, if it's ready. Because of all this time that Lauryn and Frankie have been spending together working on this piece, they've been getting a lot closer as friends, right? And not to say they weren't necessarily friends before, but it's a little bit of a different situation considering the fact that Lauryn and Frankie were kind of only friends through Matt. They never hung out separately. Hanging out with each other was always with the rest of the band, right? So now this is a little bit of a different, where they're actually getting to see each other, right? Understand each other, learn more about each other and stuff of that nature, right? In a way that they would not have been able to had they not have had more one-on-one time together. So maybe I'll have Lauryn attend his class, since technically she can. But a little bit of the plans for later today, Lauryn and a couple of the other arts program students will be going out for a little fun on the town. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's been busy working on their showcase and balancing classes, and some of them work jobs. It can be a bit stressful, so they decided, Elise, one of her classmates, decided, hey, let's all go out, let loose a little bit, have a little fun. So that's exactly what we'll be doing later tonight. It's a music program only invite, so Matt and Isaac and everyone else will not be there. Lauryn's a little bit excited because her life for the last month has just really been grind non-stop, right? And outside of working, balancing classes, she's also in this new relationship with Matt, and so she's finding out what it means to, I guess you say, be a girlfriend, coming to some realizations about herself in this newfound role, right? One of those things is she does not want to be that girl that gets wrapped up in the whole boyfriend, having a boyfriend thing, and whatever the case is, because if we're being for real, Lauryn spends a lot of her free time with Matt, which isn't a bad thing. Hey, that's your boyfriend, sister. After a while it can be a bit okay, things you do outside of your boyfriend. And Lauryn's coming to the realization that she really don't know any of these classmates like she should. She doesn't hang out with them. All her life, especially recently, has been grind time, and she's realizing, I really don't have that many friends. I really don't have that many friends. So this is like an opportunity, tonight to make some friends, let loose, you know what I'm saying? Discover thyself outside of being a girlfriend and a student, you know what I'm saying? But you know what's so funny to me is that earlier, for some reason, though she's very much in a relationship, okay, keep this in mind. We all know she's dating Matt exclusively. Like, they're together. That's her boyfriend. I think it's funny that Lauryn keeps getting like these wants to flirt with people. I don't know what that's about. Like, earlier, technically she knows Clyde. If you know, Clyde is Miles's brother, and so she knows him. But earlier, when she first woke up, she had a want to flirt with Clyde, and I was like, girly, like. And now she has a want to flirt with Kai. Be mischievous, Lauryn. I'm a bit concerned about you, babe, because why do you want to flirt with everybody all of a sudden? Like, she never gets any of those wants. Let me look at her traits. Maybe I'm missing something. Nope, she's logical, warm-hearted, goofball, daydreamer, insider, and unforgiving. So it's not like she has a romantic trait where she'd be like, oh, I want to flirt with people. Why are you desiring to flirt with people all of a sudden? She's hungry. Is there any like snacks around here? Buy a snack. Okay, we'll come downstairs and buy a snack. I don't know what's been going on with Lauryn. Like, all of a sudden she gets in a relationship, she wants to flirt with everybody. And like, that's literally not her character. Like, she's not she's not a flirt, right? If we compare to Breathing Black Out, Stevie's a flirt. Stevie's a flirt. She's a bad flirt, okay? Lauryn is not. Okay, so this must be broken. Okay, sister. She said, this is how you play, girl. I'm sorry, sir. I know that's Frankie, ain't it? I know that hand anywhere. All right, let's get off of this and have her say hello to Frankie. Now you want to tend the bar when I'm looking for a snack. She's like, oh, Frankie. He's like, hey, you ready? He's like, yeah, I'm ready. She's like, all right, in like 15 minutes, Mr. Lin is going to meet us in the instrument room to like watch our performance. So be prepared for that. And he's like, all right, I'm down. Let's see if I can get her a snack really quickly. Order food. Oh my gosh, thank you. All right, she's like, I'll be right back. I'll meet you upstairs. Let me just get this going real quick. She's like, yes, can I get a pretzel, please? Thank you, Cameron. She's like, excuse me. Oh, girlie, where are you going? To the 3rd floor? Is she attending the lecture? Like, what is going on, girlie? She's like, let me finish this pretzel really quick, Mr. Lin, and then we can head inside. He's like, that's okay. All right, so let's have them come downstairs. Is there a cat in here? Okay, and he's a customer? Please. It took forever, but everyone's finally in the room. Since him again, I'm glad you don't think my llama jokes are getting old. I feel like you just get me. Oh, Frankie. That's nice. All right, so they're about to go ahead and start practice.
I've heard new love is so beautiful. Time is what makes it ugly. But time after time and through every turn in this life, I could use some stability. We fly and we fall, but we don't fall apart. Break after break, each piece of my heart. Lovers have come and lovers have gone, but you still feel like right when the whole world feels wrong. They say history repeats itself, but a memory is for the shelf. Well, I replay the moments and years of our lives while I'm praying and hoping we will always be.
so we're back, and Lauren and Frankie just finished performing their piece for Mr. Lind, and he had a couple of critiques. Basically, tell them where they can improve upon their song because it needs some work. It do need a little work. It's just missing a little something, something. So, Frankie and Lauren have a little bit more work cut out for them. You know what I'm saying? In order for not us all laughing at the same time. Let me stop. In order for them to fully be ready. Deeply connected, girl. Why? What is going on with y'all today? Y'all just, I know y'all have amazing compatibility. We're gonna pretend like we don't see this, but Lauren's sentiment about Frankie, deeply connected. Lauren has a powerful bond with Frankie that is a source of strength and comfort. Girly. I get it. Maybe because the fact that they've just been hanging out with each other. Like, she's been talking to Frankie more than she's talked to Sydney, if we're being real, right? Which is her best friend, if we forgot, just in case, So I can understand maybe, like, feeling extra close to Frankie, but deeply connected? He's a source of strength and comfort? Like, girly, not to say you can't feel that way, but sister, I guess they just really vibe over the whole music thing. Like, maybe, it kind of does make sense if it is about the music thing, because if we compare Lauren and Matt to Lauren and Frankie, like I said earlier, Matt loves music, but Frankie lives music, right? Like, that is who he is. That is his essence. That is his being. So I can see how, like, they can connect over that and feel like in tune with each other in that sense, because it's like music is serious to us, okay? Like, we about that music life, you know what I'm saying? Clyde, why are you calling us? Oh, I got scared because I'm gonna be real with you. One of the times we got a call from Clyde, it was talking about I have a big crush on you. It's like, Clyde, that's some information for another day, but I just thought that you have a crush on us and I've only like talked to you at work. It was a whole thing. But anyway, currently 4:30. I don't foresee them going to like the hangout to like 8 o'clock. So maybe around 7:30 or something, we'll have them like wrap up what they're doing here, get dressed, and meet each other at said hangout location. For now, I do want them to continue to like chat, hang out some more, you know what I'm saying, and become best friends. Girl, I didn't know it was that serious with Frankie. Deep conversation. We'll do a deep conversation. But you know what's interesting? This wasn't a friendship pairing that I saw initially. Like, I didn't see this. I didn't see them becoming friends. Like, maybe a little bit, but they seem to really be getting along. Like, I get it. Like, proximity. Sing it, girl. Oh. Did I scare her? Since they're friends though, can see Lauren trying to, get into his business a little bit. I feel like they'll be talking about like tonight and being excited to like, have some fun, let loose, hang out with everyone, and yada 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 yada. But complain about textbook calls, hilarious. Arousal kissing, girly, I need you to chill out, sister. Got a whole man. I don't know what that's about. Like, oh. Express admiration. Oh, that's so nice though. Imagine him being like, yeah, like I'm excited to like hang out with you tonight, But getting into Frankie's business, I do feel Lauren would be like, you're friends, right? And I just gotta ask, I have noticing some things, and I just want to know, like, are you like dating or hooking up with anybody? And I feel like he'll get a little cagey about it, like, like, why are you asking me? No particular reason, we've been spending a lot of time together, and I've, been noticing some things. I don't think I've, seen you talk to anyone like that. Lauren bursting into song, girl, it's not Glee. Ask risque question, Lauren. Are you trying to tell me something, sister? I know you're attracted to him, but like, ask to be woohoo partners, girly. Whoa, is it that serious for you? But anyways, back to what we was talking about. But he's like, oh, I've just like, been focusing on classes and the band and the showcase. So, I cannot with this man singing behind me. I got to reset you, brother. I got to reset you. Reset. Put the mic down, please. You must be here for something else, like music production or something, or photography, because it can't be for that voice. She's like, I just gotten to know you, and I would consider you to be a real friend, right? And she's like, I just feel like you're too, what's the word I'm looking for? Cool to be single. Like, are you interested in dating, or do you have an eye on someone? As he continues to stare at each other. I need y'all to be for real. offer to be Frankie's mentor. Could you imagine her trying to mentor him and like dating or something like that? That'd be weird. But I can imagine him being like, I'm not really opposed to dating. I'm just, circling back to the whole like he's busy thing, right? Not really having an eye on anyone. Like I don't think Frankie really is like interested in anyone, if I'm being honest. He really just is about the music right now. So like I really don't think he's like actually interested in anybody for real, for real, for real, for real. Now this is a singer. She just singing sister. Yes. She said cleanse the palate, cleanse the ears. This is how you sing. I feel like Lauryn's just like kind of plotting. Like that whole conversation was really like Lauryn trying to plot a little bit. Not in the way you're probably like thinking. Not in like the negative way. Like more in the like I'm a hook you up with somebody. Now why all of a sudden this lady's interested in this man's dating life? Well, we don't know, right? Maybe she's just a little bit curious, or maybe it's the way to like, I don't know, distract herself from any number of things. But it's 6:31. Frankie has left the building. Like Frankie was like, I gotta get up out of here. Like he wasn't supposed to leave that early, but this is Elise. Let me have her talk to her just a little bit before we head out. But that's so funny. Frankie was like, we talking about my dating life. Let me hurry up and get up out of here. Okay. Elise is like, oh, is Frankie around? Like, did he leave? She's like, yeah, girl, you just missed him. But he'll be at the hangout, whatever. She's like, okay. And you're still going too, right? She's like, of course I am. Like, Lauryn, for real though, one of the objectives, aside from to just like relax and let her hair down, is to make some friends. Because if we're being for real, she is not friends. Like up until this point, before this music program, her friends were Sydney and Matt, right? Those were her friends. Well, Matt he don't really count because Matt was a boyfriend. Like, not saying you can't be friends with your boyfriend, but you know what I'm saying. Like Matt don't really count, right? So this is Lauryn's opportunity to actually make friends, especially friends that are interested in the same things you do, right? Someone like Elise, she's here for cello, right? Both music lovers, so Lauryn she just needs more friends, child. But anyways, Lauryn's quite literally the only person in this room. Like the other person that was in here just left out, and she was just sitting here eating. So I'm just gonna let Lauryn chill a little bit before I have her head home, get dressed, and meet everyone at the hangout location. So with that, I will see you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, so Lauryn and her fellow classmates have finally made it to their hangout location, in which I will put all the information for this build in the description box below, of course. Quickly going over the plans for this hangout. Like I said earlier, I want Lauryn to mix and mingle with her classmates so she can develop some friendships, right? Talked about earlier, she doesn't want to be that relationship girl where like all she is her boyfriend, so like she's taking measures. Also, she's going to be like kind of scoping the scenery out for Frankie. He didn't ask her to do this, but she's just a little curious if she can make some things shake. Maybe she can play matchmaker. I don't know. Everyone is here and they're all getting drinks from the bar. I did have Lauryn like order everyone beers, which I need to replenish that back because girly, she has to pay her bills after this, okay? But this is currently the lot that we are using. Oh my gosh, I meant to lock the doors. Oh my gosh. Technically, this lot is like a nightclub with like apartments at the top. And I'm definitely gonna have to like get everyone out of here and lock these doors because we don't need everybody up here. They need to be downstairs mingling. So give me like 2 seconds. On the, I guess you could say like the first floor, we have like the nice bar area and stuff. And then upstairs we have like just a little more lounge, and this is where the bathrooms are. Not very impressive. And then downstairs, this is where we have dancing area. Now, I do have a couple of deco sims up here, you know what I'm saying, for fun, funsies, you know, make it look a little more lively. So I'm just going to allow Lauren to just mix and, I was about to start saying mix and mingle in. Is Chanel okay? Isaac, you should not be here tonight. Lauren learned about Chanel's financial status, and she seems to be doing okay. Well, she should be, because your dad is over the arts program. Like, why wouldn't you be doing financially well? Chanel, are you a good girl? Will she bite our heads off? Chanel's pretty though. All my sims are pretty. I'm not gonna flex. Okay, so she's doing better. All right. Are you good now, Chanel? Okay, she said, let me just calm down a little bit. Oh, she said, don't look at me. I'm sorry. She was like, anyways. Oh, Lauren, how are you drunk already? You just okay? No, she's fine now. She's fine. She had to get over her what's it called a little bit. Anyways, who else could we talk to? We can talk to Blair too. Not Frankie talking to Miles' mama. That's so funny. Which she shouldn't even be here, but it's whatever. Actually, before we talk to Blair, let me see what Chanel. How does she feel about Frankie? She's like, oh yeah, as you know, me and Frankie are working together for the show. And she's like, oh yeah, I heard about that. What do you think about Frankie? Not at least immediately getting in the conversation though. She said, what y'all talking about Frankie? She's like, yeah, we're talking about Frankie. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Frankie. Oh, okay. Well, let me ask Elise what she thinks about Frankie. Surely Elise knows Frankie. Lauren, your drunk self. I can't believe you're drunk right now. Frankie's cool to you, right? Which I feel like Lauren probably might make me making it a little too obvious, but like hopefully she's not. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Frankie. Why are y'all lying? Maybe they genuinely don't know. Maybe I've never introduced them. We'll just take it as like, I don't really know too much about Frankie. I feel like that would be that's the conversation. Like, not that they don't know who a Frankie is and what's going on with him, but they know of him, but they don't know much about him. Like, he's just nice to look at this point, but they don't know much. Okay, I'm gonna give them like about 30 more minutes to talk, and then I'm gonna have everyone go downstairs. Cause I don't want them to just talk the entire time. I can see her being nice friends with Chanel, right? I mean, it would benefit her too, with the whole, like, her dad being, like, her instructor and stuff, so. Oh, we need to talk to our girl, Sydney. Like, we haven't talked to her in a minute, actually. Lauren, where did you go? Oh, she's at the table with Frankie. You can talk to Frankie a little bit, too. You can. I think we look good together. Now, Lauren. Lauren, trust me, girlie, I get it. I get it, but you need to cool it, sister. Oh, no. Oh my gosh. Okay. She thinks she's in dreamland. And let's see her first impressions of Lauryn. Because for some reason people keep getting like fun to be around, or they find Lauryn to be annoying, which I find confusing. But okay, maybe Frankie and Jordan, like, she's pretty, right? Maybe. And Lauryn actually knows Jordan, so she ain't really gotta do too much digging getting to know her. So instant attraction, I knew that was gonna happen. Lauryn. Just because you're attracted doesn't mean anything. Not the teacher being here. See, see what I'm saying? Like, they keep getting negative first impressions of Lauryn, and I don't understand what she's doing wrong. Immature? Like, she doesn't even have bad traits. At least I don't think so. But it's okay. It's just a first impression, right? It doesn't mean anything. Maybe they're intimidated. Nah, I was playing. You better work, girl. She said, let me sit down with y'all. She said, let me join this conversation with y'all. Let me sit over here with y'all. Ask due date. Now, Lauren, don't be rude. We can compliment her outfit. Like, girl, your outfit is just so cute. She's like, oh, thank you so much. Lie about career. Now, Lauren, we ain't gotta do that. Ask due date. Now, Lauren, why are you trying to be rude? Why are both of the teachers here? What's next? Mr. Lin gonna show up? I guess it's that type of hangout. I didn't think we was that close with the professors. Let's stop talking to these people. Let's have Lauren come talk to Sydney. Not that they don't text each other, but like they're overdue for like a hangout time. You know what I'm saying? Can't be making new friends and forget about the old ones. Lauren, you cannot be drunk right now, sister. Not your grandma here. Not her grandma here, please. Ooh, if she really was here, like for real, she would eat Lauren up so bad by her outfit. Like, this is what you wearing out of the house. Hey, girl. Lauren, your grandma finna get you. Miss Josephine. The fact that she actually joined the conversation, we're just gonna pretend like this lady's in here. I'm about to send her home. MC cheats, makes him leave because there's no way you should be here. And then you're gonna hijack the conversation with Sydney. Like, move. But I can imagine them like trying to catch up, you know what I'm saying? But like, hey girl, how you been? What you been doing? What you been up to? Are you dating anybody? Seeing anybody new? And Lauren, you know, because that's the type of like vibe Sydney be on. Like, she's definitely like, I like to hang out with the men's. Like, I like to be out and about. I like to do things. You know, I got money and I can do what I want to. Maybe she could say Sydney and Frankie. I don't know. No shade to Frankie, but I don't think Sydney will go. Well, actually, Frankie, I'm gonna have them dance for a little bit though. Kind of upset the DJ doesn't want to play today. Hey, come on, Lauren, show us what you got. Okay, this it? It's kind of boring. Are you just not feeling it? Okay, I'm sorry, sister. I'll turn away from you. This just seems so lame, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest with y'all, I feel a little lame. Can I change the music? Put on some hip hop or something. Like, okay, Sydney. This is the type of dancing I be doing, actually. Because I can't dance. I be acting stupid when I be dancing. I don't take it seriously. So everything she had just did in the last 30 seconds, that's exactly what I be doing. Okay, Laura, hold on. Show us your moves, girl. Oh, as long as you having fun, sister. As long as you having fun. Okay, Sydney. Okay, get it, girl. Come on. All right, guys, we are back from the last time that I last spoke to you all. And instead of waking up with Lauren, we are over here with my baby Miles to wake up and play with him, right? And see what he got going on for today. Which, now he actually getting up. Okay, hold on. He getting up on his own. Miles, you need to shave them arms. Absolutely not. Miles is up fairly early because he got some business to attend to, okay? Some of my Sims look good with body hair, but you, bestie, you have back hair too? Oh my gosh, you got hair everywhere. Okay, we'll shave the arm hair. I guess it's gonna be a busy morning of shaving. But we are back with my babies, my Shaylas, the Browns, and everyone is still like, still asleep. I'm trying to get a good shot of them. His parents are still asleep, because it's the butt crack of dawn, and technically the mama should be up because I'm pretty sure she does have her job soon. But the daddy, Papa Miles, he ain't got nothing. But while Miles is taking a shower, just a little quick update of what's going on with the Browns. So in the last episode, Papa Miles and Nelly had their little, cute little date situation. But during their date, they pretty much have a conversation in which Papa Miles was discussing the overwhelming urge, the weird feeling that he was having, in which he basically was desiring change. Now, he was planning to go about it through like redesigning the brass kitchen or, redoing the menu or something. He just felt like something needed to change. And Nelly kind of brought it to his attention that, like, it's probably not that. It's probably something else that, oh, hug lovingly. It's probably something else that you need to focus on, right? And so she basically encouraged him, like, hey, if you're feeling a need for change and this isn't what you want to do right now, like, babe, we got like a lot of time, we got a lot of money, like, we will be fine, you can do what you need to do. So is your son decent? I'm just trying to make sure your son is decently dressed before you walk in here and see booty cheeks. Okay, he is very decently dressed with his little heels on, looking cute. Okay, slay. What you doing in your mama's shoes? Go ahead, hug your son, honey. Oh, you're not? Okay, so this was a waste, huh? She probably was real thrown off by the shoes and had to take a step back, and that's why she decided not to hug him. No. You know what? They need a son, a mama and son day. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just go out with his mama and then do something fun. Like, that would be so cute. Okay. So Papa Miles ended up making the executive decision to close down the brass kitchen for a little bit of time, just so he can figure things out and what exactly he wants to do. He still loves his business, and maybe one day he'll open it up, or maybe he'll turn the location into something else. We shall see. But for right now, he's soul searching. He's doing a little soul searching, and he got enough money in savings where he don't have to worry about paying any bills and stuff like that for now. But the only issue is that, or at least an issue for Miles, is that puts him in a particular dilemma. Ever since he has gotten back, he's pretty much spent most of his time working at the restaurant and like occasionally doing his music here and there. And now that he is technically jobless, right? His dad, he has to do something, right? Because his dad is not going to allow him to just like sit up in the house and do nothing all day, right? He's like, you got to do something. If you're going to live with me, you got to do something. And so Miles has been searching online for a little bit of time for some jobs. And he actually ended up finding a music instructor position at a retirement home not too far outside of Newcrest. So he's going to go and check that out, see if he likes it. Honey, are you drinks in the morning? A dark and stormy honey. You're not. First of all, not he woke up. Not he woke up in a mood, feeling some type of way. But it's because of his wife. Side note: before we get back to Miles, one thing I can say about Miles Senior, when it comes to like dirty dreaming, right, and he be thinking about getting active in his dreams, it don't never be about anybody but his wife, and I respect that. I respect that. It's like his only type is his wife. Right, and I respect. I haven't yet to see him think about anyone else, and quite literally, right before I started recording, he was thinking about his wife. So that's a result of his wife, and it's like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, only one woman does it for you, doesn't it? Okay, that's cool. But back to Miles. That's why he's up this early in the morning. But I think I'm gonna have him head out around 9 o'clock to this particular meeting. Like, it's not really like a job interview or anything like that. I guess he's just kind of like touching base with, yes, you can like mixology, but you don't need to be drinking this early in the morning, babe. But Miles is just kind of touching base with the management of that facility, right, to see what the job is about, see what's going on, see what it's talking about, like figures, numbers wise, work hours, responsibilities, stuff like that. So that is what he's going to be going there for. But I do want to quickly talk a little bit about Miles's romantic endeavors, his romantic journey. Now, this episode, we will not really be focusing on Miles's romantic life. And I know somebody might be like, what? Considering what happened in the last episode, in which Ashley, she came on to him strong. She said, honey, I see the way you've been looking at me. You can't fool nobody. I see it. And you feel it. So maybe we should do something about that, right? And Miles definitely caught himself engaging in things he definitely shouldn't have engaged in. He should not have engaged in that kiss, but he did. You know I'm talking about you? Okay. He said, I didn't need you to say that. I didn't need you to say that. I know I shouldn't have did that kiss. Yeah, you shouldn't have. He said, I don't need your reminder, please. Your narration. Part of the reason why the shutdown of the Brass Kitchen is such a dilemma for Miles is because after all that stuff that happened with the kiss with Ashley, he kind of threw himself into focusing on the business and his music. And of course, like there are moments that, Ashley tried to reach out and text him a couple of times, but he kind of just tried to keep it cute, mostly focusing more on what he needs to get done at home and stuff. So, but essentially he kind of threw himself into anything and everything he could to distract himself from it, right? Including Nyla, who is a great distance away. So he doesn't quite have to deal with the full reality of what situation he has going on with Nyla. And we'll talk a little bit about some requests she's been having for him, particularly about him maybe flying out to see her in Del Sol or something like that, come up for a weekend, which girly, we know what type of time you want, sister. Like, it's okay though, I get it. But I will say majority of their conversation has been mostly friendly, which makes sense because Nyla and Miles started off as just friends. So, but like I said, in this episode, we won't focus really too much on Miles's romantic life. Like, we'll save that for the next episode. This episode is more so about the friendships and him getting his life on track with his job and finding a job. Like, he just please, you know my nerve. I keep forgetting he's a celebrity. So he has this weird refined palette quirk, which I feel like all my Sims seem to get this one, but I prefer this one over the alternative of like being on their phone or like being an alcoholic, Like, I prefer that way more. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and allow Miles to continue to sit here, kill a few minutes, waste a few minutes until he has to head out to the retirement home for his meeting. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Blinking, you were beautiful, just like a flower. I could walk with you for 1,000,000 miles and my feet would not get tired. Where you go, I'll go, winter or summer. I don't care the seasons change, 'cause darling, I'll stay right here with you. This
right, guys. So we have officially made it to the sunnier side retirement home. And as you just saw, Miles and Lauren have had their first official meeting, introduction to each other. And in a second, we'll talk about. Sorry, if Miles is looking. I'm sorry, this is the best image I can get of Miles. But in a second, we'll talk a little bit more about job aspect of things, and we need to talk about a couple of things, right? Because that was an interesting meeting, was it not? Okay. First things first, off rip. I'm gonna need you guys to disregard Brandy right now because she is very attracted to Miles. Surprisingly, like I wasn't expecting Brandy to find Miles to be extremely attractive. Like that's the highest of the highest level. Which I get it, like, but like girly. But they both have like really positive first intimates of each other. They both find each other to be sophisticated. This sim seems to be a person of good taste and knowledge, right? There's like a general respect there, right? But what I also think is funny is the fact that upon meeting Brandy, Miles has instant attraction to her, which I don't think I thought was going to be a thing. Like I didn't think he would be attracted to this lady. But like if he's attracted to Lauren, which we'll talk about in a second. If he's attracted to Lauren, then why wouldn't he be attracted to her mama? Like Lauren literally looks like a copy of her mom. So like I can see how we got there. But like the fact that Mama Miss Brandy's over here looking at looking at Miles like child, it's so funny to me. And the fact that he looking at her like I don't know. I would. It's crazy. But of course, we kind of found out in like a interesting Miles way that he is also very much attracted to Lauren. And in fact, he views her as extremely attractive. But their first impressions of each other are not good. So Miles' sentiments about Lauren. At first impression, this sim comes across to Miles as strikingly immature. I don't know what Lauren did to him. Maybe because she curved him subtly, which we'll talk about in a second. That's why he's feeling that type of way. But Lauren's first impressions of Miles, she thinks he's pretentious. So she's not really messing with the vibe of Miles. Which is funny because it's not exactly how I would have expected that moment to go. But hey, so bringing it back to the Lauren of it all. Clearly, Miles found Lauren to be quite attractive. And he even tried to test the waters a bit to see if, like, she's a little bit interested, which he shouldn't have been. But he quickly found out that she definitely wasn't. Or at least wasn't trying to keep things professional. Because once she figured out what Miles was trying to put down in that question, she was like, yeah, let's circle this conversation back to where it's supposed to be. Do you want the job or not? Okay. Her subtly shooting him down is very much appropriate considering the fact she's literally dating Matt. But quite literally yesterday she was eyeing her boyfriend's best friend. Like Lauren. Before I continue to talk more about stuff happening, like I don't want him to leave immediately yet. I kind of want him to see the vibes of this place and kind of interact with a few of the residents and have him come in here and watch Miss Vivian Lewis. Side note, I will say that like if we really want to talk about it, Miles is not the most proficient at talking to women. But when you think about the fact that in the case of Nyla, they were friends first before anything happened. So like he had some like groundwork. When it came to Iris and him shooting his shot with her, it was weak. It was real weak. But she was like kind of into it because it was like, ooh, your tip was so bad that it was so good that I'm like kind of interested. And you're cute, And then with Ashley, like Miles has not done anything, said anything to her particularly. She's just going strictly off of what he looks like, and it's just like I want that. He didn't really have to do much for that. But like when it comes to actually talking to ladies and like showing interest, like he's just not the best at it. Like he just now in regards to this particular job and whether Miles will actually take it is a little bit up in the air. Miles, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you being attracted to everybody. I'm gonna have to go in and change your settings because this is sick. I mean, not that you can't, find an older lady attractive, but like we gotta draw the line at something. I mean, it's not extremely attractive; it's just attractive, but that's too much. Why don't y'all play symbols together? But yeah, basically, he's still trying to scope the team around. He does have a couple of job options lined up. This is like the only music one that's kind of available as of right now. Something quick that he can, get into just to make sure like his dad gets off his butt. So like. Maybe he'll take this job. A good contributing factor to Miles' decision was if, Lauren would keep showing up, right? But like, so he got the message like loud and clear. Like she's clearly not interested in him. Which if we being real, Miles should not be worrying about if some random girl at a job that he's considering applying to is attracted to him. Like You should not be trying to add another girl to the roster. You already got too much on your plate, and that's your problem now. But later today, in a couple of hours, he does have plans to hang out with Frankie, right? Part of his decision to hang out with Frankie today is due to the fact that he's trying to avoid his regular life as much as possible, right? By throwing himself into any and everything else. And that includes a new friend that like he occasionally texts and they vibe about music, right? Which is cool, for Miles, because that's what he loves. He's getting reacclimated into that passion again. It's someone new to talk to, but it's also a way for him to avoid talking to Gael. Could you imagine him being like, yeah, so like your situationship, yeah, like I kissed her and it wasn't just like a little pecky smoochy. Like no, we had y'all not have been downstairs, like we might have did something in that karaoke room. Like attractiveness alert. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, slay Miles. Miles don't discriminate. He's like, you pretty, you pretty. But Miles, he's just in his, for lack of a better word, F-boy era, I guess you could say. But I'm gonna pretend like Brandy isn't breaking it down with a resident. I refuse to believe that. Brandy would never do this. Brandy. She said, child, I done been around that boy that's downstairs looking for a job. I was around my ex-husband not too long ago. Like, girl, this is just too much. Like, I just need some fun. I am about to stop them, though, because Brandy, absolutely not. That's so unprofessional of you. This is oldie but a goldie. Brandy just woohooed with an older sim, and she has to admit to herself that despite their partner's age, they seem to have a lot of experience in lovemaking. Absolutely not. Brandy, sister, I need you to be for real. You know what? Honestly, Brandy do give she would be having some sort of like relationship with maybe not a resident, but someone older. Like he's like 10, 15 years her senior, and like he turning her upside down, right? That just lets me know that we need to work on Brandy's love life because that's absolutely insane. I'm going to pretend, and you all are going to pretend, that Brandy did not do that, okay? The old man came on to her. She joked with him and said, you can't handle me, old man. Him being like, I might be old, but I still can get down, right? And she's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy that he said that to me, which, gets us into a whole other issue of like maybe sexual harassment. Not funny. I'm not laughing at sexual harassment, but like, it leads us down an interesting path. But we're just gonna keep it at he tried to make a pass at her. She was like, oh man, you can't handle me. He said, I can handle a lot more than you think I can. And that was the end of that interaction. But back to whatever we was talking about, which I believe was about Frankie. Miles has plans to go hang out with him today. They're just chilling at his house. Like, I don't know. Maybe they'll make some music together, vibe. Maybe he'll meet the members of the band. You know what? He'll meet the members of the Av. Like, I think that'll be a interesting moment, interesting encounter. See if they like Miles or they think he's pretentious too, which I feel like they probably will, if I'm being honest. Currently 3:42. I think I'm gonna have him head out around like 4:30, so I give him like another hour, maybe give him time to finish this puzzle. It seems like Miles is mildly enjoying himself. Ooh, this is like a side note. I probably do need to make some more like elder sims and stuff so they can actually like populate in here more because there are quite a few of them I saved, but they're all not where they need to be. So I think I might even go on live one of these days and make a bunch of elder sims with y'all or something like that. Let me know. Or maybe I might do like y'all give me some sims to put in my game, right? With some fun backstories and some elders that will be at this place. But now I'm gonna go ahead and allow Miles to chill here for just a little bit more time. And then he'll head out to Frankie and the band's house and chill with them there. So all right, guys. So Miles has officially made it to the Avs band house, in which he's currently talking to Frankie, who I'm assuming is probably making a cake because I don't know, something about Frankie, he loves baking. Oddly enough, so that's what he's doing. Probably can be symbolic in both ways: baking cakes and getting baked. If you got my baby Frankie, look at him. Sorry. In a minute, I do want Miles to go and meet the other members of the band. You know what I'm saying? I can foresee a little bit of beef. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Miles not knowing that like the girl he just met today knows these people, and her boyfriend is literally the person he's about to meet, which is so funny when you really think about it. But I want them to like chill, talk a little bit. I can see like Frankie and Miles having like a moment where they kind of unpack some things in their lives, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's making bagels. He made bagels. He's so adorable. Everything bagels. He said, nah, I was hungry. Let me give me a bagel. You want a bagel? He's like, yeah, you can get a bagel if you want to. Something about Frankie being a baker is so like adorable to me. Okay, well since Matt is here, I'll have him introduce himself. He's like, "Yo, Frankie, like, who's this?" He's like, "Oh, my name is Miles." Studying him for a little bit. Hey, what's up, dude? All right, let's look at these first impressions. Okay, strong-minded. This sim has a very confident, empowered vibe, be it real or just a facade. No, he's very confident. Admirable. On first meeting them, this sim appears to Matt as a much admirable individual. Ooh, that could have went really bad. I could see him thinking he was pretentious, but I mean, I guess they do, so maybe it's not as serious for them. Like, okay, you cool, dude. Especially if you cool with Frankie, then you gotta be cool anyway. So this is so nice. I've dreamed of moments like this. Miles hanging out with the band. Like I've wanted this for Miles for a while. You know. Let's get to know Matt though. We're closer friends with Matt than we are Frankie, which is interesting. Yeah, he has pristine reputation, so like his friendships build faster. So Miles learned about Frankie's financial status, and Frankie is apparently pretty wealthy. It's because of Isaac. The household funds are really high, and I can imagine him looking at this house and like, yo, y'all got money. Like, ain't no way. Oh, look at Frankie being nice. Oh, he's cleaning up. He's like, I got y'all. I think part of the reason why Miles ended up getting that first impression of Matt is due to the fact of how he's dressed. Like, look at him. Like, that's a very confident individual. Like, do you see that? Lauryn, girl, don't mess this up, sister. You got a good boyfriend, sister. Like, he not ugly. I need to give Isaac a makeover. Like, Isaac looks fine, but Isaac, he could look finer. You know what I'm saying? So by the next episode, he will look just slightly. Listen to rumor. Now for Miles to officially introduce himself to Isaac, though. But Isaac, yeah, like he looks fine, but I kind of want to change his look a little bit. Like he's looking a little too. Have a different vision for Isaac a little bit more now. Oh. Okay, he has a negative first impression of Isaac. This sim appears to be a little bit in their own bubble of imagination, a dreamland of sorts. Okay, and Isaac thinks that Miles is sophisticated, which makes sense because Miles does very much give like, I went to music school. Let's have him ask about his taste in music, get to know, ask about his degree, because I'm assuming Frankie would have told them like, yeah, we're all in, college and whatever the case is, and yada yada yada. But one thing I love though is how receptive the band is being towards Miles. Like, 'cause, like I said earlier, like this could have went really poorly. Everyone seems really like Miles, and like I guess like see that he seems really cool, and I love that. He's majoring in drama. It's been so long since I've been this save. I forgot that he was majoring in drama. Does he want to be an actor? I think he was. I think that was his story. He wants to be an actor. All right, let me stop controlling Isaac. I want Miles to go ahead and go upstairs and talk to Frankie again, which I'm pretty sure he's on the computer. He's like, all right, dude, I see you. I'm going to head up to Frankie's room. He's like, yes, all the way at the top. It's the first door on your, what is that, the left? I think it's the left. Yeah, it's the left. Okay. Not Matt in here playing. He's trying to show off. He's like, yeah, we all can play. Don't think Frankie is the only one that's like really talented. Like we're all talented. I think we all can sing. Shout out to Victoria Justice. Now Miles didn't make himself comfortable because what do you mean you come upstairs and you immediately get on a computer? I'm thinking he on his way up to the room. He said, no, I'm getting on your computer. I don't think Miles has a computer at home. I think the only computer in the house is in his dad's study. So of course, I can imagine Frankie being like, hey, like we have a practice this weekend. Like since you get along with the band, like do you want to pull up type of situation? Do you want to come to our practice? Like I can see Frankie inviting him and all the dudes like, yeah, dude, like come to the practice. I'm sorry. Male voice is just so difficult for me sometimes. Like he is over there playing, child. I was not expecting them to get along so well, but you know what? Music, it connects them, I guess. Matt's like, all right, I'm out. He's like, yeah, dude, you should like totally come. Like, it'd be cool. Frankie has learned the following traits about Miles. He's sincere. Okay, so I'm assuming Miles is like, yeah, dude, like I'll definitely show up. Like now he's about to have a deep conversation with Miles. Oh, okay, so Frankie trying to get serious. Frankie need to talk. He needs to talk. He's like, now that those dudes are out of my room because they've just left. Like I can imagine be like, what you got going on in your life? Because I got some things going on in my life. You know what? It's wonderful to spend time with you. We've made some great memories, and I'm sure we make many more. Miles has learned that Frankie has a vocal school. He can sing. Frankie, you can sing? I did not know that. I thought Frankie was just like a good guitarist. Like he's good with like instrumentation. I didn't think he was actually like good at singing. Okay, I guess we'll see that in a future episode or something. Look at them, just look at them. I can imagine Miles kind of opening up to Frankie a bit about like what's going on in his life. You know, Frankie, I trust you, man. Like, and I got some stuff I need to get off my chest, right? Frankie kind of just wants to know more about Miles in general. Like, what's your story, dude? Like, why are you here? Where do you come from? Like, how are you so good at music? Like, what's going on? And Miles kind of letting him be like, yeah, like I went to school for music, and I was in Del Sol for a couple of years. Music industry didn't quite treat me the nicest, so here we are now. But telling him about some of the stuff maybe he saw that wasn't the most positive, which is the reason why Miles why Miles came back. Well, part of the reason, aside from him breaking up with Nyla, but I feel like he will find a way to incorporate that in there too. And Frankie kind of asking him like, hey, like would you go back to Del Sol? You know what I'm saying? And I do believe Miles will eventually go back to Del Sol. Now, will he be there permanently? Move back? No, probably not. Not anytime soon, at least. But I think he's pretty content living where he was. We're not too far removed from his decision to move back home. Miles would definitely go back, but it would definitely be on his own terms, right? It has to be something strong, like to make him go back out there. Right now, he's just not compelled to, right? And so he's content where he's at. Even if his ex-girlfriend that he's still technically kind of in love with, not even kind of, is in love with, Nyla, is there. He's just not in that space to move back or go back for visitation. Which, speaking of which, Nyla has been like kind of, trying to scope out if Miles would come and see her maybe for a weekend and stuff like that, and he's kind of like, I don't really know, like maybe you can come out here, I'll pay for your plane ticket or something, but like, I don't know. But I can definitely see him opening up about this type of stuff, probably not going into significant detail, especially about like the stuff he saw in the industry. The band wants to make it in the industry, or get popular enough to like maybe tour and stuff like that and have their own fan base and things. So I don't think he would say too much to not like discourage them, but he definitely has some more stories that he probably told Frankie, but not too much into detail, right? Miles was trying to pry into Frankie's life a little bit, like, what's going on with you, dude? Like, this all you do? Like, I know you're in school and you got this band, but like that's all you do. Like, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Like, Frankie, he's content with his life right now. But I definitely would think Miles would be trying to get into it. But and Frankie's definitely an open book to a certain extent. But I definitely do think Frankie would be like, hey, listen here. I know it's Tuesday, but like, do you maybe want to like catch a vibe? If you know what I mean. He's like, oh.
Hopping to London, not stopping for nothing. If not, I'll say it and go on my own. Stopping discussions and popping the button. See all of this running will damage your dome. Some of them rocking won't stopping from suffering, not stopping to ask why they back to the bone. Suddenly stubborn, they huffing and puffing and waiting for signs to come back to the home. Building my prophecy, steady shielding democracy. Pressure, feel it on top of me. Routine repeating monotony. Where there's wealth, there'll be poverty. Burning hell to the monastery, yeah. Never speak to misogyny. Synesthesia, mahogany.
All right, guys. So we are back after Miles and Frankie's little, I guess you could say, cathartic vibe sesh, in which they both were able to like open up about some things that are going on in their lives that they felt they couldn't really share with the people they normally would. Currently, they're just like coming down a little bit when they're high and decided to just put on a movie and chill for the rest of the night. Now, the movie they're watching, Sims of the Dead, if it wasn't apparent enough by like the screaming and stuff that you were hearing in the background. Before we end this video, because we are nearing the end of this video, I do want to quickly discuss a couple of things that was talked about in their little session, right? This is kind of like the start of like a really good friendship for Miles and Frankie. And we can kind of see that with the fact that Miles is able to open up about a lot of the stuff that is going on in his life. And he kind of gets the vibe, he kind of got the vibe that like Frankie is very, very, very trustworthy, which he is. Frankie is the type that like if you tell him a secret, like he will keep that secret into the end, unless it's like something that's like could be a danger to you or somebody else, but one of the things that was shared by Frankie is the fact that he is attracted to Lauryn. Now, he didn't outright say who the person was. Like, he's not that stupid. Like, he ain't going to be like, I'm attracted to Lauryn. And then her boyfriend's living next door. Like, he had to use some common sense, right? And then also, logically, Frankie figures, like, Miles wouldn't know who a Lauryn is. So, like, the point of telling him that would just be null and void, right? And then also the fact that Frankie has no plan on like developing this attraction into anything else, which is just that. It's just attraction. He's not like in love with the girl or anything like that. Seeing Lauryn in particular situations, especially the nightclub, right? And she was dressing a little more revealing, right? And was being a lot more free and open. It made Frankie feel a type of way, and let his thoughts to wander in places he knows they shouldn't have. But if we're being completely honest, Frankie has always thought Lauryn was attractive. And I said this in the last episode when I was talking about the fact that he got a suggestive look for Lauryn during the spring kickoff party a couple episodes ago. Like, what was that, episode 3? Girl, it's been a while. I don't even remember. Of course, Frankie never tried anything with Lauryn because, like, for as long as Frankie has known Lauryn, she's had some sort of, like, romantic connection to Matt. So it's not like he could have even tried if he wanted to, right? But actually being around Lauryn and getting to know her for her and not just as Matt's, like, friends with benefits turned girlfriend has changed his perspective on her, right? But we must keep in mind that Frankie is a loyal Sim, so he would likely not do anything to, jeopardize his friendship. Is the movie over? Is the movie over? Do you know what I'm talking about? Frankie, why are you looking at me? Why are y'all looking at me? Why is this kind of making me nervous, though? Let me change this angle. I don't like that. But like I was saying, Frankie is not stupid enough to, like, jeopardize his friendship with Matt or Lauryn at this point, especially since he's enjoying the musical partnership that they, have had going on recently. But pivoting back to Miles for just a moment before we wrap this whole thing up, one of the things that also was talked about during their session was Miles's romantic dilemma, which is going to be a bigger discussion for next episode, as Miles is going to be face to face with some of those dilemmas. Miles did let Frankie in on one of the more troubling parts of his romantic dilemma, and that's the situation with Iris, right? They had a baby, didn't know that they were about to have a baby, lost the baby, and having to deal with that, right? That this situation that was supposed to be light and fun turned kind of like sad and depressing and made things like uncomfortable between Iris and Miles. But like they have good moments, but then there's also like we're not too far removed from what just happened, and that's taking a whole emotional toll on Iris, which we talked a little bit about in the last episode, right? Miles was finally able to tell somebody about that situation, right? Which helped get that off his chest just a little bit, right? Make things a little bit easier for here. What did you say to him, Miles? Okay, so Frankie is feeling a little bit tired, and Miles, his needs are good, but instead of making Miles go home, especially considering the fact that he is higher than high right now, right? Looking a little scary, a little demonic, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it would be the wisest decision for him to go home. He knows that. Not to say like his parents are going to jump him for coming home high, you know what I'm saying? They've partaken in a few things. I can imagine the guys, since they like Miles, you know what I'm saying, think he's like a pretty chill dude, will allow him to like crash on the couch for a couple hours. So we'll have him text his mom, send a text and be like, hey, hanging out with a friend tonight, you know what I'm saying, I won't be back. Give her a little heads up so she's not expecting him. But you know what's so interesting? To see Lauryn finally in the friendship panel. Like, oh my gosh. She made it, y'all. She made it. All those times she was running by her apartment randomly. Now, quickly get into some of the things to expect for the next episode. Now, originally I planned for it to be the showcase episode, but I feel as though we need a little more time before we get to the showcase episode, if I'm being honest. And technically, they themselves have more time to work on the things. Today's like Tuesday, so the showcase will be happening like next Friday, right? It's supposed to be like at the end of the spring semesters when the showcase happens, so I have to check and make sure it all lines up on the calendar. The next episode will likely take place later in this week. Not it's going to be released later this week. I want y'all to hear me clearly. In the timeline of Melomania, it will be likely later this week, right? Because a little callback to earlier with Frankie asking Lauryn what she's doing this Friday. So we'll get into whatever they got planned, right? And then also the fact that Miles is supposed to be attending the Avs band rehearsal this weekend. So it just makes sense for us to have the next episode be at the end of this week. So aside from Miles attending the Avs band practice, Frankie and Lauryn working on their pieces some more, and we will be getting into a little bit more. Frankie, go to bed, bud. Oh, he's hungry. We will be getting into a lot more Miles mess, right? I just wanted to dip our toes back into the Melomania-ness before we get into Miles specific mess, right? Who are you trying to play woohoo with? Frankie, go to bed. Are you watching a blank channel? Miles, you're scaring me. This feels very... something about the image of both of them being very high and just watching like a static channel while Frankie eats a bagel is so funny to me. Like, because what are y'all doing? It says, zoning out from watching static TV channel, Miles might be questioning his decisions in life right about now. Bounty of other entertaining and life-enriching channels he could have chosen to watch, he chose this one. Why? Poor judgment? Bad taste? Is there some otherworldly force that perhaps drove him? We is not gonna have nothing popping out. This is not that type of series. Let's put on the Kids Pony Up channel. I don't know, but are y'all really down here to play woohoo? Oh my gosh. Frankie, you should not be playing woohoo. You out of all people should not be playing woohoo. I can see you telling on yourself a little bit. Alright guys, this officially concludes this episode of Melomania. I hope you all enjoyed it, especially since Miles and Lauryn have officially finally met. I know quite a few of you guys will be happy about that. But keep in mind that this is only the beginning of their individual journeys and whatever will happen on their collective journey together, collective path together. But anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this one. And with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. I almost forgot for a second. Bye.